So I'm going to slide a little warning in here real quick.
Warning! The contents of this podcast might be triggering or offensive to those that are listening to this episode. Listener's discretion is advised.
Yeah, so suck it up. What were we talking about?
Nazis built the pyramids,
The
the
Nazis
aliens started the Holocaust. It's just...
We're talking about serial killers today. They're ghosts.
It's only going to get worse from here. So, Sage, before we get into our topic today, I gotta ask, have you ever done taxi, metro, or Uber? Have you ever taken any of those kind of transports?
I mean, I took the bus once when you drove bus. But other than that, no. I've never been in the taxi. I've never been in Uber, nothing like that.
Well, we've been doing some stuff on it, doing some research and all that kind of stuff for our topic today, but I wanted to see if you had any scary stories. Like when I took you out for a ride on the bus, like, were you creeped out at all? Or,
Oh, yeah, the whole fucking time.
it was.
I am a small town girl, so going in a city bus was really freaky for me. I have been on a train before.
Well, okay.
But it was like a luxury train. It wasn't a transportation train.
So we're going to leave trains and planes out of this, but we are going to be talking about a lot of the other modes of transportation today. But before we get into that, welcome everybody to The Calling Couple. I am your host, Gage.
And I am Sage.
And today we are going to be talking about the Uber fears Lyfted. And honestly, this is a topic that our oldest daughter gave to us, and
yeah, crazy.
But it wasn't really. She wasn't really talking about talk about the bad stuff. She was just more of talking about
the subject in general.
Yeah. So, but we were like, fuck it. That's not how we do things. So we're gonna make it a little more enticing and
spoopy.
Yeah, and but we're not just gonna leave it at just the transportations of metro, cab, Uber, and all that kind of stuff. We're actually gonna be talking about some of the dangers that you can be looking out for at your own fucking home, because we had something this morning that scared the shit out of us, and we weren't really expecting it. That really was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Don't you know we're watching a horror movie in here?
Yeah, it's early in the morning. We're watching a brand new horror film that we've never seen, which it's been out for a couple years, but...
Oh, yeah, it was new to us.
Yeah, and it was all about, someone breaking into the house and, scaring the crap out of you, and all of a sudden we start hearing thumping on our fucking roof. And we're just like, what the fuck is going on? And then I go outside and realize, oh yeah, that's the appraisers and assessors coming to look at our roof from the last hailstorm. But it'd been great for us to fucking know, because I was ready to grab my gun and start shooting. I mean...
Yeah. Who doesn't grab the gun and shoot first? Ask questions later.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those that are in county jail. We're going to be talking about some of the scary stories and things that can happen or has happened, because a lot of these that we're going to be talking about are true events that you can find out on your own. There are police and news stories about them. And, so we're just going to kind of give you a heads up of what you can look out for of taking any of these services that come your way. Now, Sage, you were telling me a story of a scary moment that happened out at your aunt's house.
Oh, yeah. Well, that wasn't Uber related. That was, the stories going around about how people are, masquerading as, inspectors or, meter readers, assessors or anything. My aunt and uncle live way out in the country. They have a gate bell, but, because, their driveways, how long is it?
Oh, it's about 1/16 of a mile or 30 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, it's a really long driveway, so they have a gate bell for when someone's coming down their driveway. Well, it broke, and she didn't know that. She had someone knock on her door, and she was home alone at the time. So it really freaked her out. She went to the door, of course, and it was like some kind of electric assessor for poles. I didn't know what it was called. But it really freaked her out and all that kind of stuff. And she called her husband, and he was like, oh, yeah, there's supposed to be one coming out. I got a call about it. And she's just like, well, that would have been nice to know. But anyways, people have been breaking into houses or pushing their way into a home when you answer the door, masquerading as some kind of assessor.
Oh, yeah. One that we get notifications from our local police department is, especially with hail damage and shit like that, of ask for ID, ask for business cards, ask for all this kind of stuff, because you get scammers, you get people that are trying to rob you.
Yeah.
and even worse. So you really gotta fucking don't be afraid to ask. But we're gonna actually get into more of that here in a little bit. But we're gonna get back on topic of talking about Ubers and Lyfts and taxi and all that kind of stuff, and some scary fucking stories. So Sage, where would you want to start this one off of? Like, which story did you hear that you were just like, holy shit?
Well, there's the most common ones, the robberies.
Yeah, that I don't fucking understand why people want to rob. Like,
Yeah.
especially in Uber. Like, I get some people are like, yeah, I'm in my moment of desperation. I gotta do that kind of stuff. But a fucking Uber.
Do you not know how Uber works?
Well, they are kind of fucking stupid if they decide to rob an Uber. All right, like that they are really fucking stupid. Okay, ugh, it just I got nothing on it.
Why?
Why? Okay, well they're fucking stupid for this, for the fact that it's not a bank. Okay, they don't have money just laying around. It's not a gas station that has cash in the drawer. Okay, Ubers are all electronic. They're all Bitcoin. They're all that kind of bullshit. Okay? They don't have money on them. If they have money on them, it's probably just a little tip here and there that they get throughout the day, or their own little pocket money.
Yeah, their own little, like... pocket change. That's
Yeah,
you said it.
Yeah, like, just a little bit of pocket cash for, like, some lunch or something, but nothing, like, too fucking... They're not going to have, like, thousands and thousands of dollars just sitting in their car.
Nothing worth...
Like,
I that's something I don't get. People who rob for, like, $30. If it's not hundreds of dollars, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm going to say...
But I guess I've never been desperate enough to rob anybody, so...
I haven't either.
So I don't get it, I guess.
But I'm going to say this, though, is the fact that if you're robbing for that little bit of money, I'll say this, that if you're going to go that far for like $30-$40 or anything like that, you're not robbing for the money. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't think you're robbing for the money. I think you're robbing for out of pure boredom, and that you just want the adrenaline of doing the crime, and also having the quote-unquote power and control and all that kind of bullshit.
Well, when we were watching those stories about people who were getting robbed, they always got busted for using the credit cards afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are straight up... See, that's just as stupid to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really robbed them for their credit cards?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to know they're going to cancel them, or the police are going to use to track them. Like, who's just out there getting away with robbing for credit cards and debit cards and stuff? Like, how are you not getting busted for that? Like, is that working? Like, who the fuck is that working for? Because I've only ever seen people get caught for that shit.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking... I don't... This shows the level of stupidity our criminals are, and honestly, I'm not going to say that our regular civilians that aren't committing crimes are smart either, because not all of them are. That's kind of where I'm at of, like, I don't suggest you being armed, because some people make very dumb choices, but at the same time, it is okay that if you want to protect yourself, because you never know what these people that are quote-unquote committing the crimes are willing to fucking do. But yeah, you're going to fucking rob a goddamn Lyft, Uber, and all that. Like, that's like going onto a Metro bus. Like, when I drove Metro.
Before you get off that topic, though, I was going to say, speaking of being armed, apparently that's illegal on Uber's apps. Like, the driver or the passenger cannot be armed.
Oh, yeah, that's
like,
gonna
it's against
work.
their... Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's going to fucking work. Well, you can't be an Uber driver if you have a gun on you.
See, and that's what kills me is, like, you're going to sit there and you can say all day long of, like, we do not allow passengers and drivers to have firearms in our vehicles.
That's not going to stop the robber.
Yeah, and that's like...
And so you're going to just let the robber's just going to come in and hold the gun on the driver, and the driver's going to be like, well, I can't have a gun because that's against my job work ethic, so I'm fucked. Here's everything I own.
Or they're just like, okay, if I can't have a gun, you can't have a gun, so get rid of the gun, and then we can talk about the robbery, okay? Like, just...
Yeah, because that's going to work, too.
Yeah, just put it aside, because we got to be able to talk about this without the firearms, because the company says we can't have that.
Okay. So if that were... Not that, but if it were the case where they were getting robbed, and the driver did have a gun on them, let's say they went against policy, and they did carry a gun on them, just in case they get robbed. Well, they do get robbed. And they pull their gun out, and it works. They save themselves and all that kind of stuff. But because there was an incident, they have to turn it into Uber. Uber fires them for having a gun. How is that fair? Like, they saved themselves by having that gun. They would have been killed by that robber or, everything taken from them by that robber. So, would Uber still fire them for having that gun?
Oh, yes. Hearing some of these stories that we've been watching about Uber and how they fire people and all this and that is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And honestly, guys, if you are working for Uber, you are in the biggest scam that has been going on. This is worse than, like, a nutrition kind of scam or Peloton. Like, it's fucking bad. Like,
Peloton's not a scam anymore. It is now a cult.
Okay, but like Uber is very fucking bad about this shit because they look at you guys like you're absolutely fucking worthless. Like, your life does not fucking matter to them whatsoever. Now,
you're already slowly being replaced by self-driving vehicles.
Oh god, we're going to talk about that.
We'll get into that.
We're going to talk about that here in a second. But like, my thing is that you are being replaced, but your life means nothing to them unless it is something that is quote unquote severe or death threatening, anything like that Uber can be badly reflected on. Then they might look at it some way, but you still are going to be on the chopping block as well.
Oh yeah, you'll be on the chopping block still.
Yeah, you winked at the guy the wrong way, so now
you're still fired. Yeah, you're still, like, no matter what, even if you're like in the hospital or some shit from Uber or something or other, they're working closely with the police, but trust me, you're never getting that Uber job back.
Nope.
Not that you would want it after all that, but still.
Yeah, honestly, it's fucking ridiculous. Are you out with your friends and you need a ride? Did your car break down and you need a way around? Then give LaCruiser's app a try today. We take pride in never doing a background check on our drivers. Here at LaCruisers, we strive to give you a ride of a lifetime. Getting the app is easy. Create an account on your mobile app and just enter your personal information, bank account, and next of kin. Sign up for the Platinum package and get the VIP trunk treatment. Great for those who need privacy. Let LaCruisers possibly take you where you might not want to go. Sign up today, forget the dangers, and trust our strangers. And now hiring new drivers. We don't care about any criminal records. We thrive to let you drive. Apply now. But yeah, no, I honestly, that's why I say is like, people that are going to try to rob a fucking Bitcoin operated driver.
It's just, it's not Bitcoin.
Somewhere.
It's just electronic.
Well, somewhere Bitcoin, yeah, a lot of it is electronic, like your Cash App and all that kind of shit, Venmo.
Yeah.
But
not everything's Bitcoin, silly.
I don't know. I don't even know.
It will eventually, but that's for another topic.
I don't understand Bitcoin, so. But no, like, it is kind of stupid. Like, if you're wanting that adrenaline, like, it doesn't matter if you're robbing just Uber. If you want to rob a bank or a cash register or a gas station, I should say, or people on the street, why don't you go try robbing those gangbangers and all that kind of people for the true blue adrenaline rush? Because guess what? Once you get done robbing them, they're going to come after you, and now your adrenaline's kicked in high gear because you're in fear for your life. It's a win-win for you. Like, come on.
They're not in it for that, though. They're in it for the money. That's where the money is, too, homie.
Yeah. That's where a lot more of the money is. That's where
a lot of the money is.
Find you.
Do you want to make sure you're going to get cash? Those are the people to rob right there.
I am not condoning violence or criminal activity, but I am condoning this. Find you a crack house that you know they got a lot of money.
The only reason
go in there and do whatever you got to fucking do.
Yeah, for real. Like, the only reason we're saying this is because you're going to do it anyways. You're going to go rob somebody anyways.
Yeah, we can't stop you. So
you might as well be like, why don't you rob the right people? You know, like, quit robbing the innocent little bystanders that's got no fucking cash on them anyways.
Yeah, have you seen this economy? The reason why you're robbing is because of this economy. You think anybody else has got that kind of shit on them?
Yeah. Like, look at you. You think that person beside you has money? They're right beside you. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, oh, I see them with the new Galaxy 32. I gotta fucking have that, man. It's like, dude, they're in massive credit card debt for that fucking phone. Real. They ain't got no goddamn money. Calm down.
Yeah, and if they did, it's all electronic. Like, well, I'll rob a rich house somewhere. Their money's electronic, dude.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't.
So, honestly,
I think the drug dealers might be electronic nowadays too. Well, I don't know.
They might. Well, they're starting to get.
He's like, hold the gun up to somebody. Transfer me this to my Cash App right now. Okay, what's your Cash App? Give me your phone. We'll scan it.
That's like that fucking scene from Don't Be a Menace, South Central, while drinking juice to the hood, and he's like, "Give me your goddamn number."
Oh yeah.
Held her at gunpoint.
Yeah, and then she held him back at gunpoint.
Like, you ain't gonna ask me to dance.
One of my favorite jokes is somebody broke into somebody's house and they're like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" And he pulls the gun up and he's like, "I'm robbing your ass." And he starts looking around. And then the homeowner starts looking around too. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" It's like, "Well, I'm gonna make sure you find something because I don't got nothing. So I'm gonna make sure if you find something, I get some too."
That's fucking funny.
Because he's so fucking broke. He's like, I'm looking too. I don't know. Like,
no, like I was saying though, like if you're gonna do this kind of stuff, because we can't stop you, but like we've said on our episodes before, we're at least gonna point you in the right direction.
I ain't pointing nobody nowhere. It was all a joke. Wink, wink. We do not condone shit.
So yeah, no, the robbering is pretty fucking stupid. I don't like. Honestly, I don't like anybody that steals anyways because I work my ass off for everything I got.
Exactly.
So it sucks. It sucks to hear that people get robbed. And honestly, some of these have led to people getting killed in these Uber robberies. A couple Uber drivers have been killed over what was in their pocket.
Yeah, that one for like $11.
No, he survived, and he was a taxi driver. He survived, but he got lucky as shit with having a cop that pulled up right behind him at a stoplight. He got really fucking lucky. But yeah, it was for $11. A woman had gotten killed during a robbery. The guy that did it had his girlfriend order the Uber, and she showed up, and he was like, "Yeah, the ride's actually for me." So he takes her down the road, puts a gun to her head, and actually was smart on an aspect of this. He took her phone and transferred all the money into his account.
Yeah, see, that's electronic stealing right there.
Right. But he seen that there was a dash cam. He rips the dash cam out, disabling it, but ended up killing the Uber driver, and all for whatever she had in her account.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's how the cops found him too, though.
Oh yeah.
It's because
he was caught.
The last transaction she made right before she died was to transfer every single penny she had into this random stranger's account. I wonder who the killer is.
Well, that, and they also had the girlfriend's Uber ID from when she placed the order for the car.
Oh yeah, because it was anyway. Like even whoever that was, it still just tracked down that freaking like transfer account.
Yeah, but here's the thing though: is the woman, the girlfriend, went down for accomplishing in murder.
Oh, good. She better.
Armed robbery and murder. And yeah, honestly, I think that they both should be hung publicly. I'm very we're getting out of control with and how lightly we are with our fucking punishments. That we
you
need to.
You hate prison, man. Nobody deserves a second chance.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that some of these punishments need to be a little bit more severe instead of having, you got 500 life sentences, so that's where you're going to spend the rest of the day. Well, if you're going to go that far, I might as well just go ahead and...
You think punishment should be a little more equal to the crime? Like if they kill somebody, they deserve to be killed.
Eye for an eye.
If they hurt somebody, they deserve to be hurt.
Now, I know people are sitting here screaming in their fucking deal, "You're not political! You're not political!" Well, okay, we're not. All right, we're not. But... we are going to say
we are violent, though. So, anyways.
Stab. So, no, what we're saying, though, is it depends. Because we got people that are going to sit here and say, well, how do you know they committed the crimes, all this and that? Okay, if the evidence fucking points it out.
That's what the trial is for.
Yeah, that's what the trial is for. But if it comes down to it to where they are sentenced for that, and it is clearly blatant for it, that's where I stand on it. Is our punishments need to become a little bit more severe. I mean... but we're going to get off that topic because
I could totally go into it, but we won't.
We're not going to because, like I just ranted, we're not political. But yeah, no, people have been dying.
I mean, we are. It's just we can't talk about it on the podcast because we get real heated.
Oh yeah. So no, the robbery that is going on in this world is getting out of control.
You got to control.
But no, it's getting bad to where people are dying, and it's one of those. Geez.
It's not just robberies though. There's other things that go on Ubers.
Oh my God, yeah, like the robbery, the death in people, and these holdups, and also not just the physical attacks, because there's actually quite a few physical attacks. It's so fucking crazy how confrontational people can be.
Are you talking about
I'm talking about
passengers attacking Uber drivers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
Because I was thinking about the Uber drivers who have been attacking their passenger women.
Yes, and that is where I was leading up to. Is that the sexual assault. People, you need to understand.
I just don't know how there's that many of them. It's because I know for a fact that there's a background checks and all that kind of stuff.
Man, I don't think these companies out here anymore are even doing the fucking background checks.
That's kind of what I think. I think maybe they're not actually doing them. They're just saying they are.
Yeah, and then which is fucking stupid.
Or they're doing them and they're just not reading them. They're like, yeah, you're hired.
And that's a good, strong possibility because you're getting all these fucking criminals that are coming in here repeating the same crime that they were convicted for.
It was like, well, we didn't know it was on the record. Don't you do background checks? Well, only if it's in the last 7 years. It was last year they did this.
And by the way, that is Uber's policy. Uber's policy is that they can hire convicted felons as long as their crime has been more than 7 years. And that is absolutely fucking stupid. Because if you learned anything from our podcast, serial killers take a hiatus. So do criminals. Mm-hmm. They can come right back to doing it.
Also, like, let's say someone goes for jail for murder, and they go to jail for 10 years. And I know that seems short, but that's really the case sometimes. That really does fucking happen.
Oh, yeah.
So they get out of jail, right? They're fresh out of jail, and they're like, I need to go get a job. And they're like, I want to go work at Uber. They just got out of jail the day before, right? Mm-hmm. So they haven't had time to be a normal civilian. But yet their crime was over 10 years ago because they spent 10 years in jail. Mm-hmm. So Uber can hire them fresh out of prison.
And that's where I'm not sure on the actual logistics of that. If it's 7 years, you have to be out for 7 years.
No, it's like I think it's 7 years since their crime.
And if that's the case, then
they can hire murderers fresh out of jail.
And this right here, guys, is what we're trying to say is that they do not give a fuck about their drivers or their passengers. Y'all need to fucking really look at this. Yeah, it's convenient, but how convenient is it for you to be in a dangerous situation with people you don't fucking know?
Yes, like, dude, you are already vulnerable because when you're taking an Uber, you're normally probably intoxicated, and it's probably like 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but if I'm a murderer, if I'm a serial killer or something like that, perfect job. My victims get in the car for me.
Yeah, and all they gotta say is, passenger never showed up. Cancel the ride and continue on carrying you, which has happened. Holy shit.
Or never be an actual registered Uber driver. Mm-hmm. Just sit outside of clubs with an Uber sticker on the side of your car.
Yeah, like we saw that one video where the lady was like, are you an Uber driver? He's like, yeah. And she's like, well, I didn't see your sign.
I didn't see your sticker. You didn't have any kind of Uber sign.
And he's like, well, I lost it and all.
Honestly, he's like, it's fine though. You can get in the car. I'm an Uber driver.
Yeah, that dude creeped me the fuck out.
Like, and he really was an Uber driver. But man, I'm just like, the whole thing just got me thinking like, dude, she just got in the car. Like there was nothing. There was nothing that proving that he was her Uber driver. She just jumped on in.
Ask for identification.
She said Sky Drive, which is where she was headed.
And all he said was,
and he said, oh, is that your name? And she goes, no. And it was like that was her destination. He was the Uber driver. He should have known Sky Drive was the destination.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's very scary. Like you guys need to fucking take more precautions with it. Shit, you got better luck getting a ride from a trucker that's going down the road than you do.
Don't do that though. Don't do that.
I'm totally kidding. Don't do that.
Oh my god, please don't do that, guys.
There's a lot of serial killers that are truckers that you don't want to be stuck with them because they are very, very dangerous as well. I was totally joking, so please. What was I gonna say? No, I'm kidding. Don't take rides from strangers, okay? Honestly, don't do that. I'm actually totally against this fucking Uber shit. Like I've been against taxi driving for a long time too. One of the stories
I'm not 100% against it. I'm just like, be safe. Be really double, triple, quadruple. Check that shit, man. Like, take pictures of the license. Like, if it's a real Uber driver, they've already got pictures of their license plate on the website. Mm-hmm. You know? So double check that shit.
Double check the door locks. Here's something that you really need to look out for. Make sure those
child-proof locks are not on.
Oh, fuck the child-proof locks. Mm-hmm. I was sitting there just thinking about that when they were talking about that, how easy it is to rewire a door system. You can rewire it to another toggle switch to where you can lock a passenger in there and they can never fucking get out by just a flick of the switch.
Flick of the switch.
That's what I'm saying.
That's like the way you said that.
Yeah, but I'm dead serious. Like, check those locks. If those locks do not work, don't shut that door. Do it while the door's open. Check them.
It'll be unlocked then. It doesn't work until you close the door.
You should still be able to hit the lock and unlock to see that they'll be able to move and work properly.
I'm just saying, take a picture of their license plate, take a picture of the driver, and send it to somebody immediately.
And if any of those drivers get offended by that, you say, you know what, I'm going to cancel this ride. I'm done.
Just be like, I'm trying to be safe. And if they're real mad about it, get out of the car.
Yep.
You can call another one. You can report them. All sorts of things.
No, yeah. You do not have to fucking accept these rides.
Yeah, and if they're being dicks for you trying to be safe, then report them.
Oh, yeah, because who knows what their intentions were. If they're going to get that upset.
If they're going to get that upset for you trying to be safe when they're an Uber driver and they should know that.
They should absolutely be like,
they had other intentions. They had foul intentions if they get upset by that.
Yeah, they should be more of like, by all means, you are more than welcome.
Yeah, if I was an Uber driver, I'd be like, take a picture of me, take a picture of my license plate. You know, here's my ID.
Yep. Just to give that extra bit of security that I am who I say I am.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with you guys getting in the cars. If they ask for
something,
if they ask for some of the basic information, give it to them.
There's also the other way around too. Like, here's something. If I was an Uber driver, and something I've noticed that none of these Uber drivers in those videos we watched did, I want a safety screen.
A lot of them can't afford that.
Well, it doesn't have to be like you're a very handy dude.
I am, sure.
Well, look up. We're all on YouTube. YouTube University will teach you how to make yourself a little safety screen.
That is true.
I mean, like, it doesn't even have to be that safety of a safety screen. Like, go to the pet section. They have those dog nets in any pet section anywhere you go, so the dogs can't jump into the front seat from the back seat. And it's got how you hook it up to any kind of vehicle. It goes over like the seats and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how to hook it up. I don't have one. But they do have those, even if it's that basic. Like, yes, if a person really, really wanted to, they could get through it. But the biggest reason I think a safety net would work is just for the drunk people alone. Like all those videos of like the girl who was like so drunk she was like throwing herself around and all that kind of stuff. Like, it'd be good for that. Or the guy who just kept petting the driver with his hand and all that kind of stuff. It's good for that. It's not going to help if someone has a gun or something like that.
Yeah.
Because they can just put it through the net, But it's not going to help for that. But for like basic things, just go get a dog net.
Well, I mean, if you're going to go that far to where you need a barrier to protect yourself, just go be a taxi driver. They have those already installed in their vehicles for the protection of the driver. Yeah,
that would be good if you're gonna. Speaking of that, if you want to be an Uber driver, go get a retired taxi car. How cool would that be?
Well, some of them probably do.
Yeah, I mean, like, that'd be a good idea, actually. I really like that.
You can still get police cars that are at auctions that still have the barriers.
Safety barrier? Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd do that, too.
But at the same time, you might be looked down upon because it looks like you're trying to trap them in at the same time.
Well, yeah, I would,
So, there's pros and cons to that. So I see where you're coming from for the safety of passengers and driver, but at the same time...
That's why I might go get a taxi one, but I might not get a cop one because... Like I said, if you're a passenger, make sure those doors unlock. Cop car, I don't think they do.
No, you can reset them to lock. They keep them to where they only open on the outside, which means that they probably disable the wiring inside the panel so they can't unlock it on the inside.
You can rewire it.
Yeah, you can fix that, but.
Yeah. If you're gonna Uber professionally, go get one of those vehicles for your safety.
But honestly,
if you're just doing it on the side and shit, just go get a dog net.
But the story I was going to say is this woman that I heard this story years ago, and seeing some of these other stories, this is very, very real. This is a real situation. So, ladies, what I'm going to tell you at the end of this, take my word and run with it, okay? Because I am condoning this 100%. The story I heard was this woman had went out with her friends and went out to the bar, got drunk. She got really, really drunk. Her friend had called in an Uber for her, Uber, Lyft, or something like that.
Oh, the friend called in just for her?
Yeah, take her home because she was pretty drunk.
Yeah, fuck no.
Well,
I would never do that to my friends.
Here's the thing: is when she did that, the Uber shows up, seeing how intoxicated she was, that she was passing out in the back seat. Mm-hmm. He basically canceled the entire ride, saying she never got in the car, and turned his sign off and went to a dark area and started raping her. The only reason why he was caught was because the husband started getting worried. He knew that.
Oh, I remember this story.
Yeah, that husband knew that she was out.
Yeah, I probably got a text from a friend saying I sent her home in an Uber. She should be on her way.
Well, after he was trying to get a hold of her too, trying to figure out what's going on, and then he ended up turning on his wife's low jack and found out that she was sitting in this parking lot. So he goes out there and catches the guy in the middle of the act. And,
ooh, he catches her in the middle of it?
Yeah,
Jeez.
And beats the shit out of the dude and calls the cops and all that. Not saying that you guys should. I'm condoning that, but I'm saying this,
yes,
ladies.
I'm condoning that. Every husband out there, you better kill that motherfucker.
No,
I'm joking.
No,
I do not commit.
No.
I'm sorry to joke. It's not. We're very serious. I'm sorry.
The thing I'm saying is that it's been preached about for years. Ladies everywhere, protect yourself. Mace, knife, brass knuckles. I don't give a fuck. Don't use a gun. Because if you use a gun, then they might get you for attempted manslaughter, because then that goes beyond the point of self-protection. But you can always stab and twist. Do that one. That's a good move. And do whatever you got to do to fucking protect yourself. But also try to keep yourself to where you can stay coherent. And if you're going to go out with your friends, make sure that they fucking take you home.
Yeah, for real.
Like, don't let them...
I'm sorry, but half that shit is on that fucking friend.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Like, I don't care how annoyingly drunk my friend gets. I don't care if I'm mad at him. I'm like, you know what? I'm still partying, and you're too drunk, but you gotta go home. Fuck that. I don't care if I'm mad at you. I'm taking your ass home because I ain't trusting nobody with my friend. I don't care how stupid drunk they are.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's why we say always have a DD. Like, be cautious with that shit.
Oh, you know my worst thing? Why didn't she just call the husband to come get her? Say, hey, come get your wife.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Why send her home in a freaking Uber? Like, he made it to where the Uber was, right? Mm-hmm. So why didn't he just come get his wife?
I can't remember. I think it was like he was working a long day and was trying to get ready, like let her go out, some kind of shit like that.
Anyways.
But I mean, there was some reason for it.
In this situation. But that's the thing, though, is that to me that there isn't. To me, there is not a reason.
No, the friend should have went.
There was like 5 different ways that could have not happened. Mm-hmm. And all of it was on at least one person. Mm. Besides the husband.
Yeah,
he was just trying to let his wife go have a good time. But that friend shouldn't have let her go off on her own. She shouldn't have gotten that drunk. But sometimes that fucking happens.
And I know somebody's sitting there saying, like, oh, so we're just not allowed to go out and have fun anymore, like, because we're having to worry.
Who the fuck gets that drunk?
Honestly, that is a great point. If you're going to get that drunk, do it at home.
Do it at home. Come on. If you're to get so drunk that you don't even want to remember the night, then why the fuck did you go out in the first place? If I'm going out and I want to get drunk, right? I want to get to the point where I can remember the good time I had. Mm-hmm. But if you're so drunk that someone has to literally carry you and sit you and shove you into another vehicle, that is too drunk. You're a fucking idiot. Don't go out like that. Don't go out to get that smashed.
Yep.
Where someone has to carry you away.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm totally 100% agreeing on that, because then honestly, are you having a good time?
Yeah, you're not having a good time because you're not even going to fucking remember it. Like, if you want to get drunk to the point of forgetting all your problems like that, you can do that shit at home.
Yes, you can. In the safety of your home. So just be fucking careful out there, guys. Like, don't be making stupid, poor choices because you want to have a good time. And also assess your friends after situations. Like, real. Like, even if I
hope that girl never goes out with that girlie.
I was gonna say, even if this girl like wakes up the next day and nothing ever happened to her, all this and that, she should be assessing her friend of like, why the fuck did you just send me off like that?
Oh yeah, even if nothing had happened, I'd be like, dude, what if something bad had happened?
Now, I know some people are like, well, what about the scenario that the friend stayed in the car and they got the friend home and dropped the drunk girl off, and then the friend had to ride home alone with the Uber driver, all this and that. Understandable. That's a good scenario, and it does happen.
There would have been a way to avoid that too. I got that for you right now. I'm saying, like, don't be in an Uber by yourself. It's kind of one of the rules. Right,
but I'm saying the scenario that they've already dropped the drunk girl off, mm-hmm. and now the friend's taking the same Uber to her house, mm-hmm. and then it happens to her. Now, here's what I would say. That if you're going to take your friends out drinking and all that kind of stuff, and one of you guys do get smashed, you guys need to have that contingency plan of, hey, I don't want to ride back by myself, especially at nighttime. If we go out tonight, something happens, can I crash to your place or can I crash to your place?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Exactly what I was fixing to get at.
That way you guys are staying in the same location, you're safe, and you can confine yourself into the safety of a locked building.
Okay, here. Say that it's me and my friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I am beyond smashed. I would never do that. And we ride an Uber home, right? And me and one of my friends get home. But now she needs a ride home. Would you send her home in the Uber by herself? Or would you get out and take her home?
You know, that's actually a really good one.
Yeah, and, I'm saying the husband could have given the friend a ride home in that scenario.
And it could have. It really could have. I mean, it depends on how far away they live.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm getting at. Like
if we lived on the west side of Oklahoma City and they lived all the way over on the east side,
mm-hmm.
and it's fucking 2:30 in the morning,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be like, hey, just crash here. I'll take you home on my way to work. And there you go.
Like that. Or like the first thing you said, have some brass knuckles on you, have a knife on you, all that kind of stuff. Like,
well, brass knuckles are illegal, but a little pocket knife.
One of you is like, whoever's the soberest gets the weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and call somebody, be on the phone with somebody the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a good one. That's one I thought of. Was like, if I was an Uber person, I would be like, how they have they always have the dash cams, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would do some kind of live.
Yeah, do a live. That's very smart.
Do a live. Just be on FaceTime with somebody the whole time.
And there are location apps. There are location apps that you can download to your phone for free and use them completely free. I'm not going to tell you the names of them because I'm not getting sponsored by them. But I'd say download those and have people that you want to know where you are. Download them too, and they can keep track of everything that you're doing, so they know
there's
you're not where you're supposed to be.
Oh shit! I didn't know that's what you meant. I'm sorry. You can go that out. My bad.
But that way they know where you're supposed to be and that you are safe and all that. And some of them even offer an SOS feature to where if you hit that button, it immediately sends out a distress to your friends and family, and it also can provide you with local authorities by dialing 911 for you.
Didn't phones used to always come with that?
Yes, we do. It still is on your phone.
Okay, because I remember my BlackBerry having an SOS button.
Yeah, like I can show you right here on your phone. It'll give you the option for, it should give you the option for 911 or emergency calls. My fucking phone don't.
Just swipe.
My phone's a piece of shit. But it does give you the, like, in your phone, it automatically gives you, like, emergency services. Let's see if I can get down to it right there. Oh, nope. That's emergency weather. Well, you can set it to be on your phone. Yeah. To where you could have those. I mean, my phone don't have it, which I'm like kind of concerned with. But yeah, no,
I think it makes you dial 911. It doesn't automatically do it for you.
Yeah, but it can. I mean, yeah. Basically, speed dial 911.
Yeah.
Have that as an option as well. Like, but and we've heard stories of women getting attacked that were fully sober.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just get threatened.
Well, threatened or straight up attacked in the car.
Yeah.
One guy did that, and this woman just completely it ruined her life to where she can't trust anybody anymore, and
can't even get in vehicles at all.
Yeah, happened broad daylight, and
she was sober as hell, just trying to go to work or some shit.
No, just trying to get a ride to the gas station and back, and that was it.
Okay.
That was it. So yeah, you never know, but that's why we say always be protected and always stay safe and travel in threes, never twos, because twos.
One of you's got to leave eventually.
Mm-hmm. Travel in threes and always have a contingency plan of where you're going to end up and go there together. Do not fucking separate. That is the biggest thing that I hear is like, oh, my friend went off because she had other plans. If that's the case, don't go out. All right? Just be like, hey, we'll go out another time. Or even if it happened during the event, be like, hey, if you're going to go and leave me, at least make sure I get home. Then you go do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Look out for each other, God damn it.
Yeah, for real, man. Come on, guys. Well, I put her in an Uber. Look what happened.
Yeah. Well, and that's because we all live in this fucking blinding sense that we're all safe in this world. And
the Uber person's on an app, and I can track an app. Well, not if the person says, oh, they never got in the car.
Yeah.
Then how you gonna track them now?
Because honestly, we had a similar case just like this that proves this point. Just a few years ago here in the state of Oklahoma of an officer who was using his his uniform and car to sexually assault women. He would never turn on his, or he would basically log out of everything, like at the end of his shift.
He would do that at the end of his shifts.
And log out of everything and then do traffic stops where he was sexually assaulting and raping women.
Yeah.
Just because they couldn't track him. All he had to say is, I was on my way home and I did a traffic stop because I seen somebody swerving or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, after I seen that they were okay, there was no need for me to call it in, and I just went on home. So Uber guys can do the same shit.
Same.
So don't fucking think that you are completely safe. All right. Same with Metro buses. I will say this, that we have our little fucking tracker. Now, I will say Metro buses keep that shit on fucking lockdown. They know every fucking step you do. I worked for them for, I'd say, about 3 months. And it was one of those that they knew every move I made. Like the buses that I drove had 9 fucking cameras that showed every aspect of that bus.
Every inch of the inside of that bus.
Oh yeah, I had at least 4 of them pointed at me at all times. Plus we have a GPS deal that keeps us on our route to where we can see where we're supposed to turn and all that kind of stuff. But that motherfucker sends every 2 seconds it sends a fucking ping back to the office to show where I'm at. So it's a little unlikely, but it's not out of the woods. Like, you can still have those shit happen.
The chances are not zero.
Like, I have seen videos of bus drivers who did not realize that there was people sleeping on their bus and take them all the way back inside the yard and shut the bus down. And the guy wakes up the next day like, oh, shit. Because they didn't do a walkthrough of their bus. They didn't do any of that. They just said, okay, we're good and all that. Women have been sexually assaulted on buses. Buses are very, very fucking dangerous. Like they're probably more dangerous than Ubers. So if you have to take a Metro bus, I'm sorry, but man, I'll say this: that was probably the rough training I've ever had to do. Like I had to watch basically snuff films to
show the dangers.
Yeah, show the dangers of this. Sex trafficking of not just adults but children. Like that was fucking rough. Had to go through bomb threat terrorism. Like, had to have a guy from the FBI come in and fucking help us learn stuff about it. Like, it was.
I think the video of the dude that fell asleep and like crushed 6 cars.
Oh, you're talking about the bus driver. Which you guys can find this video on YouTube. This bus driver had fallen asleep. Now, if anybody with a CDL, any job you go to, they will tell you the number one rule. 8 hours of full sleep. No more, no less. If you get more, great, but 8 full hours. You don't want any less than that. They do not recommend you to be behind the wheel of a heavy operating vehicle with less than 8 hours.
Those buses are heavy.
And
there ain't much stopping them.
The buses, trucks, like anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they really crack down on that. So anybody that has a CDL can understand what I just said there. But for the ones that don't, that's exactly what they're supposed to have. Now, this guy apparently didn't get that. He didn't. He was a bus driver driving on a backcountry road, and it wasn't a school bus. It was an actual bus, like a city bus or fucking like a tour bus kind of deal.
Yeah.
And he fucking fell asleep behind the wheel going at least 45.
Yeah, something fast because I have a lot of cars I watched that thing go over.
And he smacked into a line of cars at a stoplight or at a intersection. And he fucking just plowed right through them motherfuckers.
I mean, it killed every person in every one of those cars.
It killed several people. I think it was like 7, 8 deaths that he did.
It had to have been because that was so like. And the camera was from the inside of the bus. Just watching
No, you get the outside too.
Do you? Mm-hmm. I only got the inside of the bus. But just watching this plow through those, I'm just like, holy crap, I didn't realize they were so unstoppable.
And you'll see what I mean, like how many cameras are inside this bus, because they show every single fucking view. You even see the driver sitting there just fucking nodding off.
Man, you just see it. Ugh. Scary. So scary. I can't imagine being one of the people on the bus watching that shit.
He was actually close to retirement. Like, he knew better than doing this. Like, he was like a 30-year vet, and he knew better, and he still fucking did it. Let's hear from our sponsors real quick. Are you looking for a new phone plan that won't cost you an arm and a leg? Well, here at the CCP Communication, we offer the best plan out there. We offer a lifetime phone plan for the low cost of $300 a week per plan. Get limited calls, $1 per word texting, and the best out-of-service range we can offer. If you sign up today, you'll get our new Nokia 69. This all-new phone is supplied to us from the back of a sketchy guy's van. Simple to use. Just pull out the antenna and wait for the dial-up tone to make a call. This phone has the top quality camera that is used by every police suspect's photos as seen on the news. Text your family, your friends, and loved ones with ease on the new vintage style rotary pad. This phone also offers a 50-foot cord for a short battery life so you could still move around. Come learn more about our amazing deals today by visiting your local CCP Communications. Man, I'll tell you what, that phone sounds like a good plan. I don't know.
Sounds a bit ridiculous priced, but okay.
Well, you know, I mean...
Whatever the sponsors say, I guess.
The Nokia 69, man, it gives you head while you drive, too. It's really cool. It's got that good glory hole app.
Oh, my God.
All right, so no, back to what we were saying. Like, being a Metro bus driver, it was definitely fucking... I had some fucking eerie moments where I was just like, and I was only there for a short time, but I was just like, oh my God. Like, there were some guys that came on the bus that I was kind of like...
They came on the bus?
But no, it was pretty bad. And honestly, I just don't like people, so that's kind of why I left the job.
It's not the kind of job for you.
No, I mean, but there's a lot of things that you have to go through to become a Metro bus driver and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, they paid for my CDL, so I was like, cool. I was like, that's great. I'm out. But no, I just couldn't do it anymore. I mean, I met some nice people, some good people and all that, but a lot of druggies and a lot of fucking hustlers. People that think they can just hustle for a free ride and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my Lord. I fucking hated it.
Yeah, but nobody's like, oh, I'll give you a blowjob.
No.
Nobody
never.
offered that shit. Damn it.
Nope. I don't know if I would from some of the people that I picked up.
I don't
know. No.
I'm just joking.
We never got any of the good-looking women. It was mainly people that are ex-druggies or druggies at the moment, or a lot of homeless that as soon as the door opens up, that just wafts right in and fills the whole bus up. And geez, that's a stench. It's hard to get out because we have fabric seats, so it all soaks in.
Ew.
Yeah. So yeah, I left that job. That wasn't too bad. I mean, I got my CDL and now I do something different, but I don't know. I don't think I could be an Uber driver. I don't want to be an Uber driver.
I think you could do it.
I could if I wanted to, but
I think you could.
I just don't like people, so I'm not the biggest social bug anymore like I used to be.
Well, I'm not a social bug, but I like people.
It depends.
Yeah.
Like, you blow me, I like you.
Oh my God.
But no, I'm serious, guys. Protect yourselves. And something that we're going to add on to this about protecting yourselves and dangers and all that kind of stuff. Look, we do a lot of documentaries and research and stuff on, like, hearing about serial killers and things of that nature. That the biggest thing that we noticed is when people come up to you and you feel like you're about to be in a dangerous situation, or they get a hold of you and they tell you the biggest thing, you scream, I'll kill you, or anything like that. And if you're in a populated area or close enough where people can hear you, here's the biggest fucking thing I want you to take away from this. Teach your children this too. Do not just fucking brush this off.
Don't let them pull you somewhere where there are no people that can hear you.
Scream. Scream for help, because if they're already threatened to kill you, they're gonna kill you. So you might as well fucking try to get saved as soon as possible. Do not get terrified and do what they tell you, because once you do what they tell you, they're gonna do whatever they fucking want, and guess what? That's gonna be 99% of the time kill you, because they are not gonna want to get caught. So if you want to save your life, scream, fight, do whatever you gotta do. Teach your kids the same thing. Teach them that if it's somebody that they don't know, and even if they're told, you scream, I'll kill you, or I'll kill your parents, or any of that shit, you tell them, scream your fucking lungs out. Get people's attention. Let people know. There was that video that you showed me just yesterday of the two kids that were being drugged down the road.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
These group of bikers have happened to catch them. Come to find out, the guy that was dragging them down the road he just kidnapped them.
Yeah, he had just taken these kids. Like, they didn't know him. They were trying to pull their hands away from him. They were screaming and pulling away from him, and these bikers just happened to be driving by and saw the distress, pulled over, and then the guy let go and took off. And so the kids were just sitting there screaming and crying, and the biker goes over to him, and then eventually someone else drives by and sees the sees, a bunch of bikers surrounding 2 kids that are crying, and so she pulls over and says, "What's going on?" And eventually they're just like, they found out that that guy who was pulling them down the road had kidnapped them.
So now you're probably saying, well, they were screaming and all already. They probably
Look how far they had gotten. Like by the end of the video, they still hadn't found those kids' parents, and they were going down a highway. Like, there's no telling where the parents were, for all we knew. Like, I hate those videos that don't have conclusions.
Yeah.
Like, did they ever find the parents? Were the parents dead? Like, we don't know. This really sad video.
Yeah, it was, but it's a very surreal video. This happens every day. This is not.
Yeah, this is an everyday thing. It's like, oh, this will never happen to me. No, it's happened near you at least, and so you want to be aware, because it could someday be you.
Yep.
Like, I've got a personal story about my youngest and I were walking around Walmart, and my daughter happened to notice a man that was following us around Walmart. Like, we were just, I was just checking out paints and stuff, and my daughter says, "Mama, that old dude is following us." And apparently he'd been following us all over the store, and I just didn't notice, and that really freaked me out that I didn't notice, but my freaking 4-year-old daughter did.
Head on a swivel. Head on a motherfucking swivel, people. You don't know what you're going to encounter day to day. Okay? Keep an eye on your kids. Teach them that stranger danger, because honestly, we're not teaching kids stranger danger. And if you are, you're not teaching them enough. The dangers of every day.
If anybody wants to know how I got out of that situation, this might not always work, but what it worked for me is that I made eye contact with the guy. I said, "Oh, is that guy following us around?" And I said it really loud. And he quit following us around after that.
Yeah. But what you did was what I'm saying. If you notice it...
Yeah, be loud about it, man.
Be loud.
It's like, even if they're like, well, I don't want to be annoying. It's better to be annoying than fucking, like, kidnapped or killed.
I don't want to be falsely accusing somebody. Falsely
accused, man.
Let them explain why they're there.
Yeah. You can apologize. Like, you can be like, "Oh, well, my bad," and then walk away. But like, but for all you know, they are following you. They are about to kidnap you or kill you or rob you, or like, you don't know. I hate to be that way, but see the worst first. See the worst first. It keeps you safe.
And I agree. I really do. And people tell me all the time, because I look at life the same way, and they're just like, "Well, how do you enjoy life?" I look at everything, at every worst opportunity and possibility to happen, and when it doesn't, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm pleasantly surprised when it doesn't. I'm just like, hell yeah. Nice day. Good day. Didn't die. Good day.
Yep. And people are like, "Well, you're living in fear." Well, maybe you should start living with just a little bit more fear.
And it's not fear. It's preparation.
Yeah, but fear and preparation can go hand in hand.
Yeah. It's healthy to have a good dose of fear.
It is.
And I'm not afraid because I don't think I can handle the situation. I'm afraid of not being ready for the situation. That's what I'm afraid of.
So,
as long as you're prepared for the situation, there's not really much to fear. You're ready. You're ready for that to happen.
And that's why I say, like, Sage, she carries her pistol with her everywhere she goes, even with our kids, just to, because you never know. Because we saw a video the other day.
Our oldest even knows how to handle it. Our youngest doesn't yet, but that's okay. She's still young.
Of course, we teach proper gun safety first and all that kind of stuff. Like, we don't just give them the gun and say, "Here you go."
No, they know.
No, if you want to teach your child that, there are ways you can go about it to teach them proper gun safety. But
I did start the youngest with the BB, and she's actually pretty good.
We started both of them with the BB gun.
No, I'm saying recently, our youngest with the BB, she's actually a really good shot. So I think she needs a little more. It's time for her lessons.
Yeah. And of course, I want to add in here that our guns are put up, locked away safely. They're not just laying around, because that is the number one thing about gun safety is put them away.
I've also, speaking of seeing videos, I have seen plenty of videos of
guns just being left out and all that. Yeah,
I saw a video recently of a
gun just going off on its own. The other video I was going to say is, like, there was one that you watched the other day, which you get a lot of the
I know,
weird
they just
ones on
roll across my freaking For You page.
Yeah, it's really...
I'm just like, dude, look at this.
It's kind of weird, but you got that one where the guy just walks up off the street to the bunch of women and their kids and tries to grab one of the kids, and luckily the mom had a gun and shot
she was ready for that day. I was like, that's me right there. That woman, She was ready. She saw that man coming a mile away.
Now, before anybody starts attacking what I just said, the fact is the guy walked up with a gun pointed at them.
Oh, yeah. He had a gun up pointed at the mom's head. Not the woman with the gun.
Yeah.
But the mom of the child that he was trying to take.
Mm-hmm.
He had a gun. And in a group full of moms.
Yeah.
So, like, 5 moms, 3, 4 kids.
And I know some of these fucking libtards are going to sit here and be like, well, maybe that was the child's father wanting the child back. All this
He had a gun at her head and was stealing the child. I don't give a fuck who it is.
Yeah, if you're going to try to argue that statement, go ahead and just put yourself in a fucking loony bin. Like,
it's like, if you're against guns,
stupid.
but you're going to defend the guy who kidnapped the kid with a gun, you're going to defend him?
Mm-hmm.
No.
All we're trying to say in this episode is be very fucking careful and safe. Take the extra precautions. Go the extra mile to secure your safety.
We're not saying don't have fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying don't go enjoy your life. We're just saying be prepared while you're enjoying your life.
For real. Take the extra 2 seconds to change something that could be life-altering for you. That's all it is.
I mean, it's like, well, you're setting your kids up for a very paranoid life if you're, like, prepping them every day with what happens if this happens, what happens if this happens. Well, if you get it out of the way at the beginning of the day, the kids get to enjoy the rest of their day.
Mm-hmm.
And they're prepared for the moment that something might happen. And guess what? I taught my children situational awareness. So my youngest noticed a man following her. And I'm really proud of her for that. Really mad that I didn't notice first. But I'm really proud of her for knowing that, which means my children are aware of their surroundings. And I'm really proud of that.
Yep.
I think that's a good thing to have your children do.
Mm-hmm. Hell, I was taught stranger danger when I was a kid. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think we teach it anymore.
My oldest, when they're, I noticed, like, we were at the park one time. And I was just sitting there watching them play and all that kind of stuff. And an adult is kind of walking by my daughter and it kind of stops and was watching kids and all that kind of stuff, and then he happens to look over at her and start talking to her, you know, and she looks at him after he's done talking, and she goes, "Which one's yours? Which one's your kid?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he says her name and says the other kid's name and all that kind of stuff, and she goes, "Is this your dad?" And then the girl's like, "Yeah, that's my dad," and all that, and she goes, "Okay," and then she answers the adult's question, like she wanted to make sure the adult was really there for a reason before she even talked to him. And I was like, that's my baby. That's my kid right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it's okay to also be paranoid too and ask the adult, be like, hey, what are you doing here? Who are you here with? All this and that. Because you have every right to protect not just your child, but everybody else that's there too.
Yeah, also, I don't think that was rude at all of my daughter to do.
No.
Like, no. And then he didn't either. He was actually like, okay. I mean, like, oh, yeah. Hi. I didn't know what he asked her because I wasn't close enough, but I just heard her because, you know, moms, we're attuned to our children's voices.
So, yeah, I would say, like, even if you don't have a child, take some of those things in consideration for your own benefit. Enjoy your day as well. But be loud, be armed, be safe, do what you got to do to protect yourself. I'm not saying that you have to live every day in fear, but always take those precautions of what could come because you don't know.
I know, like, some of those people are just like, I hate those loud people who are always like being super accusey, you know, at Walmart and stuff like that. Just like I get that. I get sometimes the whole like people can get annoying and loud and all that kind of stuff, and you don't want to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
But trust me, if it's your safety, you're not being that person.
Yep.
And if someone's accusing you of being that way, then just like I'd rather apologize later on than let something like that slip or happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I would just rather be a loud person and looked at all like, oh, you're so annoying. I'm like, well, I probably just saved somebody's life, so I don't care.
Yep. So my biggest number one rule is just be loud.
Be loud. Be
as loud as you fucking can. If you have a weapon or not, that's up to you, but for your safety, be loud. If they tell you to shut up or I'm going to kill you or anything like that, if they go that far and say that, be loud. Be fucking loud. If it's a robbery, give them what you got. Try to save yourself.
But be loud while you're doing it.
You can. Or you can just go ahead and give them everything that you got and let them get on with their way and then try to turn them in later on. But if it's really going to be something that's going to really affect your safety, by all means, be loud. Be loud. Save your life.
Yeah, I mean, like, Don't carry too much cash on you. If they want your wallet, just give it to them because everything in it's replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't carry anything higher than a $20 bill. And if I'm getting robbed, I'm just gonna let them have that $20.
Mm-hmm.
But every card can be canceled and replaced off my phone,
Yep.
or even from my husband's phone, and then my ID can be replaced as well, but rebought and replaced and all that. So I'm letting them have my wallet. If they want to take my shitty ass phone, they can have it. Like, well, I got an iPhone. Well, that's your problem, man.
Yeah. Yep.
You're the one who's gonna buy that expensive ass phone. I got a cheap Walmart phone that does me just right.
Mm-hmm. So, honestly, if you want more of stuff like this, we'll dive more into it. But leave us a comment down below and let us know. And if you have a scary story that you would like to tell us about of transportations and all that kind of stuff, let us know at the Calling Couple Pod, pod@gmail.com. And we will...
if you got any more safety tips, leave them down in the comments for our other listeners to read.
Ooh, before we go, though, I did forget about this. And I'm going to add this in here because I said we would. Something that I'm going to add in to all the dangers out there of not just driving and all that kind of stuff and taking transportation, but those that come in for scamming or other nefarious things. We did not touch that, so we're going to touch it real quick. If somebody comes up to your door, like how here recently we had hailstorms, and I think I said this earlier in the episode, how we had hailstorms and we got people that are coming around trying to be like, hey, we'd like to assess your roof and see if we can help quote it to be better price, all this and that. Ask for cards. Ask for identification. Ask for some form of what they are doing is legit. And most time, they're going to be coming in twos. If they come by themselves, you have every right to tell them to get off your property or call the police immediately. Mm-hmm. You do not have to fucking do anything. Don't open your door. Do not open your door.
Because if you've got, like, I know a lot of people have those Ring cameras these days. Mm-hmm. Talk through your Ring camera.
Yep.
We don't have one, so we have a lockable screen door that we can talk through.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Or we can just crack the door open, you know, like, I'm saying, like, if they're trying to push their way in, you know, don't open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let them push themselves in.
Yep. Be cautious because no matter what the service is, even if you have ordered somebody to come out and fix your internet or fix your heat and air or anything like that, ask for identification. Ask when you make that appointment. Be like, hey, who are you sending? I want their name. I want some information on what they look like.
A lot of the services that we've had will send a picture of the person coming first. Because you never know. There might be somebody who knows that someone's going to be sent out there, and they're like, well, I'll send a robber like a couple hours before they're supposed to be there. And I'll be like, and we'll just tell the people that we got to be there early.
Right. Well, that's the thing, though, is like if it's somebody that is not who they, like it's not who you knew was supposed to be there, mm-hmm. you have every right to call the police. They can figure out who it is. You can fucking keep yourself locked up in your house, grab your gun if you need to, or a weapon in case you are that scared of your life. And if they are trying to get in, then you go from there. But do not be afraid to fucking ask for information. Do not open that door right away. Ask, who is it? And if they start telling you who they are, ask some more questions. Do not just take their word for it. Be like, hey, you know, yeah, I'm here to fix your cable. Okay, what's your name? Well, that's not the name I was given, so I'm not opening this door. Mm-hmm. Well, my job sent me down here because he had to go and all this and that.
They should have called me and told me they switched.
Yep, that's the thing, is the company should be informing the customer of what's going on.
I don't care if I'm being inconvenient, okay? You're inconveniencing my safety, so mm-hmm. I'm going to inconvenience your job.
Yep, I mean, so it's okay to be, as like one of my favorite podcasts, and I will give them a shout out because I love this podcast, Crime Junkies. One of their favorite things that they say at every episode is stay loud, stay safe, and stay weird. Mm-hmm. And I love that. But yeah, honestly, and that's what I'm going to use too. Is I'm not going to steal there because it's probably patent pending. But I'm just saying.
Oh man, we'll credit them. They're good.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, I love them. Those ladies over there are just amazing. But definitely be loud, be safe, and just fucking ask questions. If people show up saying they're here to do something for you,
be paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Be allowed to be safe, be paranoid.
Oh, you're allowed to be paranoid all you fucking want. That is the last freedom that we truly have in this country, and that's where I'm going to leave that right there because that's going to get it.
I'm paranoid, and I'll stay that way.
Yeah.
I'm paranoid and proud.
But yeah, no, if you guys have had some creepy encounters like that, of somebody showing up at your house that you were just like, what the fuck? If you have it on video, send it to us on the email or tell us the story in the email. And if you would like us to talk about it on the episode, let us know. We'll fucking talk about it. We'll get your story out there so it can insight other people what to look out for and all that kind of stuff. And we would also love to hear some creepy stories about UPS, Amazon, or FedEx drivers and shit like that. Or
any of them.
Or give us some good stories about the fucking porch pirates and shit like that. And like, I'd love to hear about those or see videos if you have
got
them.
like a good story for any of the podcast episodes, just send them into the email and all that, and then eventually we'll have a podcast episode about just reading emails, something like that.
Yeah, we'll do.
We'll have like a story time or something.
Spoopy stories.
Spoopy stories, got it.
Yep, spoopy stories.
Well, I don't think it used to be that because some of our episodes aren't about spooky stuff.
Yeah, we'll come up with a slogan for it whenever we get there. But you guys got to send those emails in so we can know what's going on.
Read them.
So we can actually set something like that up.
That'd be fun. That would be fun. Send me a story, damn it. I want to read it out loud.
Yeah.
If you want to remain anonymous, obviously we'll come up with a hilarious good name for you.
Or if you have a surname that you like, then we'll use that too. But also, you can go follow us over on the Calling Couple podcast on our Instagram, and we'll try to post clips of our videos on there, pictures and stuff like that of us doing all this shit in a lot of our daily routines, and we'll try to get it to where we can post
take a picture of me right
often.
now. Take a picture of me so I can be like, go look, that's me right now. Cheese.
Click, click. Okay. But yeah, you guys can go over there and follow us and support us and all that. And if you made it this far into the episode, give us a like, subscribe, and leave us a comment down below. And shit, if we get at least 25 likes, we'll do another episode of the Uber Fears Lyfted. So other than that, I said what I said. If you guys are out there living life, stay safe. Don't cause harm to anybody that doesn't deserve it. And fuck it up, Buttercup, because you only get one.
Good car.